undefeated.
They play no good teams. So, welcome to a whole other episode of Talk Heavy. Now, we're going to talk about this election. Joe Biden, he done took the victory. Him and Kamala Harris.
Camilla?
So, Trump is out here saying that he got robbed. Does anybody believe him?
Oh.
I don't believe he got robbed. But personally, shit, he did lose. But I think we should let him investigate. Let him investigate. If he's not gonna find nothing, let him go spend some money and investigate and get everything recounted for whatever, just so he can find out that he lost. You was about to say something?
No.
Do you think that's what it's about? You think he's investigating, Taj?
Well, he said he wants to investigate. They went to court on Monday, right? Like he was filing like little
a lot.
He was like filing little claims. No, but I heard like on Monday he filed some claims and shit. Like him, I think he's trying to investigate. They trying to shut him down, but he, you know what I'm saying? He said the election is far from over.
In my research, I don't think any of his petitions actually went to court, but most of them got dismissed.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't say he won. I say he went to court. Just because you go to court, you can win, lose, walk out.
No, he didn't go to court at all. The judge looked at his petition and threw it in the trash.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Trump might be done for. Well, he is.
Well, he is done for, but like, you know what I mean? Let him investigate.
His own lawyer firm, like his law firm, the law firm that he's been using for the past 5 years. JD
Wentworth?
Damn. JD Wentworth?
Jones Day. No. Jones Day, located in Ohio. 9 of the lawyers who works there were like, yeah, we don't know. Huh?
Man, did you catch the joke late?
Right, like what the hell?
Look. 9 of the lawyers that works there was like, yeah, we don't know if we want to pursue this because we don't know if we have enough evidence, and we think we're undermining the election. Like 9 of his own lawyers that he hired.
Sometimes you can't trust your own people.
Bro, man, it's not just them. It's another firm. One of them quit.
Sometimes you can't trust none of
them. One of the lawyers quit because they was like, we're not doing this.
Don't trust a man that give up.
Like it's very lacking in merit. He lacks merit in most of these lawsuits. And it's shown.
Did anyone go to the celebration in Philly when Joe Biden won?
No.
No one went?
No.
I was down there
getting elected.
That shit was lit. Like it was so many people down there. They had biker gangs. They was giving out free candy.
What you went out on a town?
Right. Fuck you.
Oh my God.
Fuck you happy. Fuck you celebrating for? What's the celebration?
We can't be happy that we got Trump out of office. A bigot.
Oh, I got Trump out of office. I got another evil white man in there, huh?
Well, how do you know he's evil? What makes him evil?
Joe Biden is an evil white man. Explain, please.
Listen, man, he's a man of the establishment. Huh?
Did you vote?
I did. Reluctantly. I voted for bitch ass Biden.
You voted for
wait. He's a bitch, but you voted for him.
No, he's an evil white man.
Because listen, this is why. Because I have to exercise my right to vote.
Say it again.
That's pretty much it. I have to exercise my right to vote.
If
I didn't vote for Biden, I voted for somebody else. I mean, I voted for Trump, so I had to vote for him.
Oh, so no,
that's saying it's not true.
Yeah, it's really not, man. Come with somebody.
How is it not true?
Because a vote for Trump is a vote for Trump. A not vote is a non-vote.
Yeah, but indirectly, if my vote isn't going towards him, I'm allowing the other people to vote for Trump because he has his.
No, not true.
No. It sounds cool, but that's not the case.
Good for marketing.
I'm confused on why you think Biden is so bad, but then voted for him.
Why do you like Biden?
Voted for him.
Okay. Why do you like Biden?
Even more disrespectful.
No, don't flip this.
Because I liked his plan, the lift every voice plan. I feel like he was more direct with black people than Trump was. Like Trump had 3 things that was real broad and was just talking, and Biden got down to some shit.
Right. And so what do you think that agenda is going to accomplish?
Making little things a little bit better for myself.
In execution, what do you think is going to happen?
I'm gonna hope he do it.
No, the question is, what do you think? Is like, what do you? Why didn't you want Trump in? That's the real question.
Why didn't I want Trump?
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, you're saying Joe Biden's evil, Trump is evil, so it really shouldn't make a difference then.
But would you pick the lesser evil?
Yeah, I did.
But isn't evil evil?
It is. This is why I'm not happy.
Oh,
Why the hell would I be happy about it?
I'm just all right. I guess I'm gonna go back to a few weeks. I'm confused, like what V said. I don't know why you voted at all. Then
I just said to exercise my right.
But if you don't believe in the person, then why?
So you just did it for fun. I didn't. I guess.
Aren't you can't you kind of do more damage to yourself if you think over here the grass ain't always green on the other side?
Well, see, the real thing that my vote really went to was my local elections. My local elections is where I can elicit the most power and, you know, figure out the best way to change. So over here where I'm at,
you said I did the local joint, so you know.
Yeah, there was a lot of campaigning. I met I don't really like him, but it's a guy named Mike Ramone.
More people you don't like.
You know, the more I live in America, the more I realize I don't like it. So yeah, you're right. But and I'm just being honest.
I'm going to give you the most Republican answer. Move then. Get out of here.
It's just facts. Like
I like the politicians in my neighborhood. You know, you catch them at the barbershop?
No, actually, you can't. Oh, you catch them at the barbershop?
You could. Mine's are local. You could. I put them at the barbershop a few times.
Oh, well, he don't go to my barbershops, so.
No, catch him at church.
Catch him at church.
But how do you want Joe Biden to go about helping Black people and educate it?
What I want him to do? I want him to. I mean, ideally, I want him to first of all defund the police. That's number one, and restructure the whole policing system. Like immediate action is that. That's an immediate action he can take.
You think that's something? You think that's something that realistically is immediate though? Between defunding the police and also, like, I guess you would say suppressing the crime. Like, I think that takes work, and I don't think that's something that he'll do in a 4-year term. I think that's something he can begin, but I think that's something that's a process.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Everything in this country is a process, and that's how it's intended. So yeah, I agree with you, and I think that what I mean when I say that is to get it started. That's what I mean. Like that's an immediate thing he should get started. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I need all 1,200 of my stimulus dollars though. Right before they do that, I just need all 1,200 of my dollars to drop my account, and we good. They can go defund the police, do what they got to do.
Why you only want 1,200 though?
Oh well, because that's what I was told I was eligible for when he put it on the news. So,
you just accept what the white man tell you.
What you say?
I said you might as well go for reparations while you at it.
No, I mean, listen, I'm just saying, if y'all gonna give it to me and I ain't gotta do nothing for it right now in this very moment, pass all 1,200 of those dollars so I can keep it moving. We'll talk later.
Talk about it later. We'll figure out things later.
I feel like you're shooting yourself in the foot asking for 1,200. You should at least ask for 24.
First of all, I'm not asking for anything they're giving. So I'm saying this is what Donnie was promising us. He kept talking about the stimulus package. Now I'm saying, all right, now Joey, where's the money? Because Donald over here was saying he was passing out some paper. Now you got elected in. Joey, where's the money?
Where's the money?
That's all I'm saying. Hey, listen, don't do all the laws and all that. I'm just saying, if I'm entitled to a stimulus check, I want it. Call me what you want. I want the money. It's my money and I want it now.
So can I propose a question?
You said, go ahead, my bad.
So how do y'all feel about Kamala Harris being the first Black?
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Oh, man.
So I was about to say, first off, I just want to say congratulations to Kamala. You know what I'm saying?
Queen.
You know what I'm saying? I definitely, congrats, I feel like are definitely in order. And I just want to say something to the people out there that want to just come at her neck right now. Relax. You know what I'm saying? Let her get in office. And, you know, for the people that are being disrespectful, sexualizing her in certain ways, and all they want to do is talk about any ill thing that she's ever done in her past. You know what I'm saying? I think that we should take this moment to congratulate her and let's let her get in office and see what happens. You know what I mean?
I mean, vice president doesn't do anything, so.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, it depends on the presidency. I mean, it is a whole.
I mean,
We can look at George Bush's vice president. And he had a lot of power. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So Dick Cheney.
Yeah, Dick Cheney is actually supposed to be the advisor for Joe Biden's foreign policy.
What policy?
Foreign policy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I found
so, like,
interesting.
Yeah, the only constitutional power a vice president has is to, get in office if the president dies, and to preside over the Senate, and they don't even get a Senate vote. So,
I mean, but can't they like do the footwork for presidents? Like when presidents, they got these big meetings they go to, can't like the vice president hold little press conferences and events in different cities to help the community be present at like give backs at communities, what they do for turkeys on Thanksgiving, when they show up to people's houses on Christmas with gifts. So it's just like vice presidents can do stuff like that. So it's like,
and they have influence.
They can have as much influence as the president gives them.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said it depends on the president. If you have a president that's like, your vice president, shut your ass up and sit back.
So you think Joe's just gonna be like, all right, Millie, you got me in now. Get out of here.
Kamala might be the most influential vice president to the public. Like Dick Cheney was influential behind the scenes, but I feel like to the public, Kamala might be like the first very influential vice president.
And I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I am too.
You know what I mean? So I don't want to just go out there and say that she's gonna be just standing there and nothing.
Y'all believe it's something to celebrate that she's the first Black woman to be in the office for vice president?
I think it's something to celebrate. Yeah.
Yep.
She's a Black woman.
She is.
It's an accomplishment. I mean, it's an accomplishment. So I think an accomplishment should be celebrated because she reached an accomplishment in her life. If you become the vice president of whatever you're doing, that's an accomplishment, isn't it? If that's something you was working toward.
No, for her as an individual, I mean, as it relates to the community, though. Like a lot of people in the community are like praising her and very happy. And I understand, but I'm just asking, like, why?
There's another little girl out there named Kamala, and now she thinks that she can be the vice president because Kamala Harris was.
And on top of that,
she saw a Black woman on TV.
You speak to influence. Go ahead. Sorry, V. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's as simple as she literally just broke a barrier that like we didn't think was going to occur. Like nobody would have imagined that in our generation we were going to see both the first Black president and the first Black female vice president. Like those are two huge accomplishments, and so I believe that she deserves all the recognition and all the praise that she's receiving for that accomplishment, regardless of what people feel about her past, regardless of people saying, oh, well, she's Jamaican and Asian and blah, 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 and regardless of all that other crap people are saying, she's the first Black woman to ever be in that office. And not only is she the first Black woman, she's the first woman, period.
Period, exactly.
Period. That would be an album.
In an influential spot in the White House. So I think she deserves all the praise that she's receiving. And
yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Her acceptance speech playing Mary J. Blige.
Come on now.
As it gets.
Rumor has it was Beyonce. No, I'm messing with you.
See, I guess maybe, I understand. Like I said, I do understand that. But I'm just thinking about it as it pertains to, real issues and real problems, how that's important.
Make people
I mean, that's why I said we'll see. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think influence has a lot. I mean, the same way Trump put the battery in a lot of people's back, you know what I mean? The influence that she may have is you can't measure it. You know what I mean? You look at something like, as African Americans, we've always talked about, always see ourselves in a position of thieves and drug dealers and criminals, right? And we can't say that means something. And then when we see somebody in a positive light, say it doesn't. You know what I mean? So it goes both ways. If we don't like seeing ourselves in those positions, to see somebody in that position, it should mean, it's a good thing.
And I think also like taking Georgia out of it, because I personally believe that Stacey Abrams deserves every form of credit for the reason why Georgia switched to blue this year. But
Mhm.
the other states, Black women, well, Black people, but definitely Black women turned out in numbers that we haven't seen ever. Like Joe Biden is the most voted for president in the history. And I think a lot of that has to do with Kamala Harris being on his ticket, and a lot of Black women and Black men as well wanting to be the first in that seat, so
Right.
that, because even during Joe Biden's acceptance speech, he acknowledged how the Black vote helped them like win this election. Like
Right.
that's huge, because what president, even Obama, have you ever heard acknowledge and thank Black people publicly for getting them into office?
So I mean, I guess I'm more of a
Give us
moderate
sunflower.
here. No, yeah, I think I'm more of a moderate here. Like I'm not. I understand both sides. Why people are super happy for her and why people are super against it. Like people being so celebratory of her, being incumbent into the vice presidency. And I feel like there is something to be said, huh?
No, I was going to say, like, before you go in, I'm just curious as to what do you as like why people are super against it? Because I understand why people were against her, but why are people so super against the recognition she's receiving for
Right.
like
Because I think in the history of America, we've always seen Black people being allowed into white dominated spaces, and we noticed that Black people's power is relegated to the power that's given to them by the white people in power. And so for her specifically, she was running for president. And once she realized that she wasn't going to make it into presidency, she ran under Joe Biden's ticket, the person who was going to be, the front runner for the Democratic Party. And in a lot of instances back when they were running against each other, she spoke about how, as a young Black woman going to schools, that busing bill that Joe Biden supported would have heavily affected her ability to get to and from school. And she was, all very upset and emotional about it. And now it's all good. So I just, I'm very skeptical about how that flip changes, that paradigm shifts. And I'm very skeptical about what those true intentions are. So
I feel like a lot of vice presidents go on to end up being president. I feel like she's probably gearing up to probably run for president one day. And I feel like it's nothing wrong with her stepping into the seat of being a vice president so that maybe she can gain a little bit more knowledge and a little bit more experience in that field. And then she will be a greater president when her time comes. So I think, yeah, she was on the other side. And then I feel like politics is a game. She decided to make a move and go to the other side, see how it is, support it, and one day she can run for president. Like, you know what I mean? So,
And I mean, she was running for president, like you said, but in the throes of competition, you don't uplift your competition like that. What they've done, you point out all of their flaws. So, I mean, that doesn't mean that if there's no good there. What it means is I'm going to point out everything you did wrong, because that's going to, it's competition at this point. When it's not competition, it's all right. Let's work on the things that we can do at this point. So I don't, you know what I mean? Just because a person is going against a person at a particular point in time, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that they hate that person, or not even say that they hate that person, but that person is all flaws, but you're not there to point out anything good about them. You know what I'm saying? You're there to show people, oh, look what they did here. Look what they did there. You know what I'm saying? But they're running for president to go against Trump. And that's what they ultimately ended up doing at the end of the day. And, they won. Congratulations. And hopefully.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, I think the bigger issue to that is, I can't remember which documentary I was reading about this, but the bigger issue to what you just described is how the founding fathers of this country basically made this, they pretty much mimicked exactly what they didn't want in reference to like what was happening in England. They mimicked here and made it for themselves, but it's pretty much the same thing, where you have the only two parties that have a fighting chance to ever win presidency is the Democrats and Republicans. And so it's like it's always a situation where within the party, they're competing against each other. So you hear them say these terrible, outlandish things, attacking each other. And then finally, when somebody's chosen, all of a sudden, all those people who just attacked that person,
Right.
like, oh, I stamped them, I blah, 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 whatever. Like, same with like Kamala and Biden. And that's happened election after election after election. Mm-hmm. And so what I hope to see in the future is more states to take on, and hopefully at a national level, do what Maine does. And what Maine does is they allow people, they have a multi-voting system. So like rather than now where if you, like, for example, when they were picking who was going to be the Democratic nominee, you could only vote for one person. Like you had to vote for like Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders or Kamala Harris or Elizabeth Warren, whoever. Where in Maine, you can put in order who you want. So like you can pick out, I think it's like up to your top like 3 to 5 and basically say, okay, Joe Biden's number 1, Bernie is number 2, Elizabeth is number 3, Kamala's number 4. And pretty much what they do is compile all of those. It's similar to how they do like the NBA MVP votes. So every vote is worth a certain amount of points. And so it's like, I might have voted Joe Biden first, but you voted for like Bernie first and Keith voted for Kamala first. And so they kind of put everyone's number 1 votes together, number 2, number 3, and that's how they choose who the winner is. And the reason I said I feel like that is a better system is because the way that they do their debates and their advertisements is very non-competitive. Like they have, if you look at like the last election they had, their advertisements were actually like the people who were competing against each other together in the advertisement, telling people to come out and vote or come out and listen to their debate so they could genuinely hear what the policies were rather than what the other person's doing wrong. So to me, I feel like that's a much better system than the system we have now, because the system that we have now is making everybody just attack the person who's in the lead. And then once they win, now it's all of a sudden like, oh, so I'm supposed to believe that you support this person after you just told me they the second coming to the devil.
Right.
Yes,
Exactly.
That's facts.
I think that just breeds my own like skepticism. Like, yo, that comes off extremely disingenuous. It's like, oh, now I'm gonna run under you. Like, what the hell? Like, that's wild to me. So that's
Yeah.
And also,
Kamala, like being like when that whole discussion was happening of who he was going to choose as his vice president, I understood why he chose Kamala, but I thought that it was either going to like hurt significantly or help significantly, because it was like a lot of people were going to look at that like, this is the girl who came at you, the woman who came at you the most during these debates. And now
she was at his neck.
Right. And then now, you see during the vice president's debate, she's praising Joe Biden's praises, like, praising him or whatever. And it's kind of like, Whereas when you look at Mike Pence never tried to run against Donald Trump. So it made sense to appoint him as the vice president. The same with Joe Biden. Joe Biden never tried to run against Obama. So it made sense to, appoint him as a vice president. So yeah, but regardless, like I said, I think she deserves all the praise that she's getting. Like I understand the skepticism, but I think like Taj was saying, that's the game of politics, and you just have to play at the level that you're at. And yeah.
And we just listen. We're gonna end it like that. We're gonna end it on the most unlikely person, Taj. Your quote. That's just the game we playing. Oh Jesus, Taj is getting quotes today. I don't know what's going on. She just quoted Taj. Like Taj said, you couldn't say nothing better.
I mean, what can I say? He said it right. He said it perfectly. I couldn't have said it better.
No. Shout out to Taj. Man. He's a gentleman in the scholar, man. Now, next up, we're gonna talk about we're gonna get to some heavy things, man. We just had a couple deaths that happened, and shout out to everybody out there that shout out to the Kamala Harris and Joe Biden one more time. Congratulations. Let's see what y'all got for us. But right now, man, get a little heavy. Rest in peace to Alex Trebek. If you've been watching Jeopardy, and I watched Jeopardy, and learn some things sometimes, and you at least get an answer right every 2-3 days, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And rest in peace to King Vine, who was shot, a young rapper, upcoming rapper, who was shot outside of a nightclub for it was a fight going on, right? So I want to say rest in peace to both of them, but we're going to speak to this issue of just gun violence that's going on with our young African-American brothers. And Sky had a question, and I think it was very interesting what he asked, and I think it's very interesting what he had to say about it. So let's get into it. Let's talk heavy.
Yeah, I mean, it's really like saddening, like extremely saddening to know that a young Black man who's around my age can just be gone, just like that. Alive one day, the next day you're gone.
Right.
Like you like it's from something that's very preventable, you know? And I was saying how people were, although it's sad though, people were lauding King Von like he was just like, you know how people do after people die. It's
Right.
like, oh, he's gone too soon, you know, and you know, it's so this and that. And I'm like, it's not that unexpected though. Like, this is an individual who led a certain type of life due to his environment that he grew up in. He's from O Block. And I don't know if anybody's unfamiliar with O Block. It's two rival gangs that live literally right next to each other. And in Chicago. And they
for people who don't even know about
other.
O Block and nothing. But
and they murder each other and they fight against each other for territory, drug territory, etc. And you know, he always talked about how many bodies he had. He always made fun of the people who have gotten killed. And this isn't to say at all that he's deserved to die. It's just to say that if you're leading that kind of life, expect those type of results. You know, and as I said, if you living by the sword, you gotta die. You're gonna die by the sword. Yeah, and that's I wish that we could help them and then like guide them in other ways, and people can mentor them with their parents, family, whatever. But like that's the reality of the situation. Like, and it's extremely sad. What do you guys think though? You think that that's a valid analysis of it?
So go ahead. I was gonna say, so this reminds me of like the argument, like a lot of people's analysis in reference to Pop Smoke's death. Mm-hmm. And I'm not as familiar with his music, but I'm more familiar with Pop Smoke's music. And for me, it's like I get what you're saying, but that death still hurt. Absolutely. Like badly, because it was like, for me, I was a fan of Pop Smoke because I felt like he brought back that old school New York sound that we haven't heard in a very long time. And I felt like he had that classic voice that could go on for like, you know, beyond just this era, but could in other eras and other, you know, like I could have seen the longevity in his career. So he was like a taste of New York that we all missed because like, you know, we really haven't had that like raw sound of like New York in a while. So it really hurt. And also the fact that he was so young. So it's like, yes, I understand what you mean in the sense of you live that lifestyle and that's kind of like, you know, what comes out of it. But I don't think as a fan or as a supporter, it hurts any less. Right. Like regardless, you know, a young Black man just died and it's just like, it could have easily been avoided. And it's like, and it's also just seeing that he was putting so much into his craft, you know, and really building a name for himself. So it's like, even if he was about that life, he clearly wasn't living that as his full-time career option no more, you know, because he was putting so much time and effort into the studio to perfect his craft. So yeah, you know, it's like, it's unfortunate because it's like we've seen other rappers in the same situation and then we've seen them grow out of it, you know, and we were able to watch them and see, like Jay-Z, for example, like we literally watched Jay-Z grow up. Like we've seen Jay-Z from when he was on the streets all the way up to now as basically a billionaire. Like, and in his music, he's told us his stories. So it's just unfortunate because we won't get that same experience with this, you know, with him or Pop Smoke or any of the others. So
yeah, like what you had said, V, when you brought it out, as soon as you brought up Jay-Z, I was going to say, Nipsey Hussle died. He was murdered in his own neighborhood where he grew up in, and he rapped about, fighting niggas, and I'm not going to, and that type of content of music. So I'm not going to look at, and he had such an influence. Everybody saw the kind of influence Nipsey had after he died, unfortunately, but you see the kind of influence and power that he had, and he rose above all that. So I think I get what you're saying about, living by the sword, die by the sword. But I think every situation, I feel like you should be able to rise above, even if, and I do believe that shit, because, it's certain shit you do in your past that do creep up on you. But at the end of the day, I feel like if you're doing everything you can to be better than that, then if you do fall into that category of people who get murdered, then I feel like we shouldn't be like, oh, well, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Like, I feel like we shouldn't throw it out on that. You know what I mean? Because like you said, he was he 22?
26.
26.
Oh, shit, my bad. I'm 22. Yeah, so that's not realistically, it's not the furthest apart from me. I'll be 26 in less years than before, so.
Yeah, he was a young fella.
He was very young, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Go ahead, Keith, what you going to say?
I was gonna say, I don't think this. I don't know how this is gonna sound, but I don't think it's fair to say live by the sword, die by the sword when he was born on top of the sword. Like, he had nothing else to do. Like, that was his only way, and until Dirk signed,
talk about it, Keith.
like until Dirk signed him, that's the only way. That's his only out he had. That's the only way he could become bigger and better. So I feel as though like he had the chance to keep on growing and get past that. Yeah, he rapped about what he lived and what he did.
Right.
But like I'm saying, I don't know if like maybe he did that thing 3 years ago. Or he smoked somebody 3 years ago and he rapping about it, he talking about it now.
Right.
Now, the people who killed him are just haters. And they dropped the video of his friends stealing from him. So it's like he was trying to progress in life and then people start hating on him from where he was from.
I don't think reality is fair though.
Yeah, it's not. No, that's the truth. Reality isn't. I want to speak from I just want to say, like, I think that rappers, especially when you come from that cloth and that type of environment, I think a lot of people need to try to become self-aware. Like, know who you are and understand that once you get that chance, everybody tries to make it. Like, if you from that environment, so many people are trying to make it. If you are one of the ones who do, you have to be aware of that. Tupac said something years ago. And he said, he feels like the white man is going to try to take him out because I ride for mine. I ride for my people. They wouldn't kill me. And he got killed by his own folks. So even Nipsey Hussle, he rode for he built in his own community. He was pulling up to his parking lot in his shop and got killed there. It's not fair. We know, like, if you live your whole life in the streets, you understand that you could die at any moment. So it's easy to carry that once you make it. But at the same time, the stakes are way higher because the lives that you change are your folks, the ones that are around you, you are their way out. So at the end of the day, I really it's just sad all around the board. But the only thing I can think of is if you get that chance, you really have to be self-aware of who you are. And you got to understand it's certain shit that you just can't be engaging in anymore. Certain spots that you shouldn't be in at certain times. And if you are, your surroundings you need to be surrounded by love and people who have your best interests in mind. And a lot of the times when you have a lot of money, it's hard to know who that is, but try your best to be that, or try your best to recognize that. You know what I'm saying? All I can think about is just self-awareness, because just like you said, you live by the sword, you die by the sword thing, which is a valid point. But then you got your but damn, come on. Like, everybody got to pass. And then you got you got to grow. But once you get those chances, you really have to become self-aware. Because there's certain rappers you see who don't move with security. And they just like, listen, I'm a regular dude. I move out regular. Those are heavy chances that you're taking. Some people get to grow old like that. some people don't in this situation. But then you got certain rappers you ain't getting close to. They're not going to none of those places that they used to be. And if they do, they're gonna get out the car with nobody around. You know what I'm saying? Or they're gonna be heavily secured. So you have people who I think that's a way to ensure that you kind of make it further in your age, older in age. But you know what I'm saying? I just think being self-aware is really one of the biggest things, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not that person. That person over there may have $1,000, $500, $10 to their name, and they really have nothing to lose. It's people that kill for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And when you're in that position, you have a lot more to lose than those people. So you can't mix and mingle with people who have that type of mentality. And, that's all I like, for real. That's all I really take from it. Like, it's just being self-aware. And it's just sad. It's really sad. You know what I'm saying? For somebody to be making it and then to get killed like that. You know what I'm saying? But, I don't know what he's done in this past. I'm not even going off of nothing that I heard. You know what I'm saying? I never really listened to King Von music. So I don't really know his past. But all I know is once you one of those ones that's making it in life, you got to be self-aware of that. And if you do got to pass, you really need to be self-aware, because if you caught people sleeping before, you don't want to be caught in that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer in reciprocity. So
yeah,
I am. So I understand that when you put a certain type of energy out, that's generally what you're gonna get back. And unfortunately, he was born into a predicament where the energy was negativity and murder and drugs, and so it's unfortunate, yo.
Now, I do have a quick question before we move on. I do want to ask y'all, what are y'all thoughts on T.I.'s take or tweet on this situation? Did y'all see what he said?
No.
He said, rappers, stop coming into my city, settling your beefs. Stop killing in my city. That shit is corny. Respectfully, or something like that. Something to that. Oh, he said management. Do y'all think his tweets were insensitive, or what do y'all take on that?
He died in Atlanta? I thought he died in Chicago.
Yeah, he died in Atlanta.
He died in Atlanta. Yeah.
What's the famous phrase? You gotta read the room. What are you saying right now for it, dog? Why? What made you want to say that right now? Right
Stop
now,
killing in my city.
You had to make that clear right now. I was saying, well, tell all the other people who be getting killed in your city to save things, Mr. King.
Also, how was ATL his city? I'm just confused about that one too.
I mean, he the king of Atlanta. We all know that, though.
Mayor.
We all know that's the king of Atlanta now. Come on now.
I never understood that.
Starred in a movie called ATL. Come on now.
So what?
That was a good movie.
That was Rashad.
It was Rashad.
Come on now. We ain't got to clear that up.
We get no damn Cuddy in his house.
I think that's did he follow that up with like R.I.P. Vaughn or
no? Okay, when people are coming at him, he's saying somebody was like, "Well, Quando Rondo, because this supposed to be his peoples that did it." So they were saying, "But Quando Rondo from your city," and then his King Von's sister went off on him, talking about how he was out in the club cheating on his wife, and it was like a whole thing. It was like, "Well, what do killing got to do with him cheating on his wife?" That's the whole. Like, you took it somewhere else.
Yeah,
but
now, I want to read exactly what T.I.
He's saying I wasn't even talking. He said I didn't say a name, so I don't. How I'm talking about them.
Yeah,
and it's like, come on.
He said Atlanta is a beautiful, progressive city filled with Black excellence. We uplift each other and win together. Stop killing each other out here. That shit is played out. Management. He said, handle your beefs in your city. Thanks in advance, King.
Okay, that is the part that I think. Yeah. Handle your beefs in your own city.
That was the caption to that. Yeah.
Like, yeah, that to me is what took it over. Like, nah,
yeah,
that's why.
Who else you talking about now?
But to be honest, I'm just sick and tired of T.I. Period. Like, much about him during this.
Talk about a Black woman.
Much better off knowing before this quarantine. Like, I don't know who thought it was good. I'm just tired of his opinions, to be honest with you. Like, this man literally told the world about his daughter's virginity and was confused why she was upset. Like, I just can't take anything he does seriously.
Guys,
Okay.
stand down and stand by,
I
Ty.
know what you gonna say. My whole thing, I watched the episode of when the whole thing played out, and my whole thing, I don't understand how he expected his daughter, who is still a teenager, to come to him when he was in the wrong. And then in order for him to get to the point where he apologized, he had to interview her mom on a live platform for her to break down to him why his daughter felt humiliated and embarrassed by her father. And then he says, oh, I'm gonna apologize to her now because now I get it, and went to apologize to her. That is like, I'm sorry.
You know what?
So it sounds like is a man can't be corrected of his wrong and then go apologize for the wrong that he did.
That publicly, he could have easily
How we
had
get here?
with her privately. He could have easily went to his daughter.
Did he not embarrass her
How
publicly?
we
So
get
he
here?
had
Wait,
to
wait.
apologize to her publicly?
This is not.
Like
This is
Scott
not.
said, hold on. Like Scott
But
said,
he didn't even have the conversation with his child's mother privately
but
before
look,
publicly. Like,
It sounds like, well, I watched the interview on the episode. Her mother was very open and ready to talk
oh yeah, because she
publicly about it.
We know y'all. Hey,
this is
y'all.
what we're gonna say. This is what we're gonna say. Rest in peace to King Vine. Rest in peace to Alex Trebek. We ain't about to talk about T.I. and Hyman, not there, not another time.
Listen,
Right?
V had to get that out her fucking chest though.
This ain't about tip because V don't like that. V, she
had
said,
to
I
get
don't
that-
like it.
I'm
I
sorry.
don't like it.
Her heart
saying,
was.
I mean-
She was holding on to that.
And she was holding on to it. But guess what? You know why, man? Because he don't treat his sons like that. It's a double standard going on out here that women can't. That whole thing. We all know. I don't even got to explain it.
We know what's going on.
We know
But
what's going on.
Speaking of
But
double
it's another
standards,
double
Scoop.
standard going on. You know where I'm going with it, Scott. You ain't got to help me. Yeah. But it's another double standard going on. You know what I'm saying? My man Johnny Depp went through a situation with his wife, ex-wife now, right?
Yeah, ex-wife.
Yes,
yeah.
his ex-wife, where she said that he was beating on her. I mean, they investigated it. My man lost his job and everything. Truth comes out. She was beating on him. And guess what? He still ain't got a job. She has a job. And people are like, oh, well, Johnny, get over it. Now, it's a double standard going on out there where if a man is being abused or anything is going on with that man, we laugh at it. We take women abuse very serious. So how do y'all feel about the double standard that's going on with that whole thing?
Can I wait, hold on. First of all, Johnny Depp, he still got paid, by the way. He was still getting paid. He got paid like $50 million. He shot one scene, got paid $50 million. He got off good, in my opinion. But yeah, also like that shit is crazy because she was fucking him up. Burnt his face with a cigarette. Sliced his damn finger off. Sliced his damn finger off. Was punching him up.
Sliced his finger off?
Yes, sliced his damn finger off. Like a piece of his finger was cut off. They got pictures of it.
He posted them.
Yes. They got a video. He got video recording of her saying, I meant to slap you. I didn't mean to punch you. Like, what?
She's like, it wasn't that hard. It wasn't even that hard. You're being a baby. You're being a baby. Oh, shit.
And she still got a job. So, these double standards is ridiculous.
Not only did she got a job, she played in Aquaman.
She did. She was corny as shit in that joint, too.
Movie. How many Edward Scissorhands pictures do you have? That's not his only movie.
Listen, she cut his fingers off. He got scissors for hands now. All right?
That was a pretty good movie, too.
We're trying to have a real conversation here. You playing the...
All right, so when we were having this conversation, guess what I wouldn't be doing? I wouldn't be doing this if it was a woman being abused. So I guess I'm one of those people that makes fun if it's the man being abused. Am I sorry for it? Maybe a tad.
No, you're not.
But I'm not
sorry at all.
I'm a little sorry for it. But I guess I believe that certain double standards are just what they are. I mean, listen. You shouldn't put your hands on a woman. If a woman puts your hands on you, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but
you think about a regular man. I want you to look at the picture that you posted right there. Dude, they're like the type of man that can take them hits.
Yo.
It don't matter. That has nothing to do
He
with.
takes that abuse. He can't take
That
that.
doesn't matter if you can take the abuse or not take the abuse. None of that fucking matters. What matters is the abuse. Abuse leads to psychological. Not only does physical abuse lead to actual physical harm, but it also leads to psychological harm. Like
true. This
your
is
female
true.
partner is hitting you.
You know what he should do then? As a man, he should leave if she keep beating him. Just leave.
She keep on following and beating him some more.
I mean,
You know what though?
They got a divorce, but
go ahead. My bad.
No, I'm just saying they got a divorce.
Say that if the shoes was on her foot, they be like, well, why didn't she just leave him then?
That's not what people say. That's what insensitive people say.
Yeah, I was about to say people say that a lot, but I think people don't understand how hard it. Because I've heard like people like you don't understand how if you've never been in a situation, you can't just say just leave. You know what I mean? And I understand that. I get it.
You see what happened when he did leave? She filed a law, like she was saying how she was lying on him and talking about being an advocate for his domestic violence, when in reality she was the one abusing him. Even if he was abusing her, they were both abusing each other. You get what I'm saying? So it's not as black and white as people make it out to seem. And she spun it in a way that make her the victim and him the perpetrator, when in reality she was actually a perpetrator as well. And you can't talk about domestic violence against a woman and then not turn around and not care about it when it's against men. That's hypocritical.
They never do.
You don't put your hands on anybody, period. And if you put your hands on the person, you're wrong. Period. End of story. If it's not self-defense, you're wrong. Period. End of story. There's nothing to talk about. And especially when we're talking about abuse, you can't abuse is so detrimental to a person's mental health, and especially a man's mental health, because we can't even go to nobody. Because this, you see exactly how it is with y'all. Y'all think it's funny. Y'all think this shit is cute, and that shit is not cute. People actually go through real life trauma that they have to go to therapy for, and that you get ridiculed in public eye when you try to talk out about it. You understand how that make somebody feel? So when we're talking about domestic violence against men, we have to be sensitive just as we are to women.
I concur. I definitely concur. Even though
you convinced me. I'm taking the picture down, Scott. You're right. I'm taking this picture down right now.
Wow.
And putting this one back up.
Is it? Johnny.
Yes,
Johnny.
V, what do you think, V? He was mad quiet.
I mean, I don't condone violence on either end of the foot, but I do think there's a difference between a man and a woman like abusing. However, a certain extent, like to the extent of her like burning his face with cigarettes and like cutting off his fingers, like that's psychotic. Like that is like literally insane, and she needs to be put into a mental institution immediately.
Yeah.
Like that's not normal, you know. But on the same foot, I'm not going to say it's okay for like a girl to like beat on her boyfriend. Like I don't believe that you should ever put your hands on anybody, whether it's man on woman, woman on man. But I'm not also going to say that it's necessarily exactly the same, because I mean, men and women aren't created equal, and men naturally are going to be stronger than women. So if a man punches a woman in the face, it's going to have a much bigger impact than a woman punching a man in the face.
True.
In what capacity? In physical harm or psychological harm? Because a bruise can heal.
I mean, yeah, it can heal, but it's the physical impact is definitely going to be more harmful on the woman than it is on the man. I'm not saying one is worse than another, but I mean, to be honest, it's 4 men in here. How many of y'all had your girlfriends hit you before? And how many of y'all felt like you needed to go to therapy after?
Sorry, no, I'm blind. But
I think there's a common theme amongst women where they try to diminish their role in domestic violence. And they believe that because their hits don't hurt as much, that doesn't negate the fact that you are literally traumatizing a person. When you put your hands on them and you're attacking them, you're supposed to love that person. You're supposed to nourish that person. You're supposed to cater to your man. And the fact that you're trying to inflict physical pain against your partner for whatever reason is, that's hard. That's hard on a man. And especially because if we do something back, now you're putting us in the position now to where we can maybe lose control of our emotions. And now we have to be the bigger person. Now we have to be, because nobody's gonna fucking believe us. And you can go out and lie and say, oh, he was hitting me, when we really was the one getting abused. And now we have that in our mind too. So it's a lot of layers to that, and how society, especially the courts, really favor the woman in most cases. And so that is something that's very ingrained in my head anyway, when I was experiencing things like that. And that's what my parents was telling me, like, hey, yo, you got to be safe. Like, that she can go out and lie on you. And like, damn, that shit made me scared. Like, what the fuck? Like, I can go to, like, damn.
No, that's real.
That's some real anxiety.
We got a question in the comments that said, do y'all believe that a man should defend himself against the abuse?
Like, and what, like smack her back?
If it's abuse.
All right. So. My thing is, if you getting hit, go ahead, D.
No, I said we were talking about physical abuse, so I'm assuming that they meant physically.
She said, "Hell yeah." T-Money said, "Hell yeah."
Yeah, I ain't. My girl hit me. My girl, I'm not hitting my girl back. Like it's not a back tit for tat thing. You know what I'm saying? My girl hit me. I'm not gonna be like, all right, now it's my turn. Crack. You know what I mean? Now I'm gonna be like, yo, chill out. You know what I'm saying? Like you drawn. You know what I mean? If she out of control, I'm gonna hold her because I'm stronger. Relax. And then once I defuse the situation, we gonna talk about it like adults. But I'm not hitting her back though.
Yeah, it's not a 50-50 thing.
It's because it's not.
I agree. And
like,
also
I don't think that a woman should ever put her hands on a man, but I also don't feel like it doesn't make sense to me for a man to hit a woman. Like the only time, and honestly, never mind. I don't think that it's like excusable, I guess, but I was going to say something in reference to what Scotty had said earlier, and it's like, though it's quote unquote abuse, I guess, I feel like a lot of times when women are hitting a man, it's because they can't control how much they love that person. Like, it's like, and I know that sounds stupid, but it's genuinely because it's like, oh, I caught him cheating on me. I'm still in love with him. He hurt me. I'm gonna hit him. Or like he he like hurt me in some type of way, or, I'm mad because blah, 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 blah. Whereas typically on the flip side, men aren't typically like being reported for hitting women because of the fact that like usually it's more of a control tactic, I guess. Like the Johnny Depp situation, like that is her trying to control him. And I feel like a lot of times when a man is hitting a woman, it's definitely a manipulation tactic, it's a control tactic, and it's a fear tactic than it is when a woman is hitting a man.
Okay.
I
do get that.
We got one comment that says, well, that's a personal problem. If you can't control your emotions, like she got to figure that out on her own. She can't, just because you can't control your emotions, you can't beat up on somebody.
I mean, that's true though. Like I
100% agree with that.
Like women hitting men at all. Like that's very true. You do need to learn how to control your emotions, but I still don't think like if a woman smacks her boyfriend or something like that. I mean, I do think it's fine if he breaks up with her or like Scoop said, like holds her, pushes her away or whatever. But like knocking her out or like, she punched you, I'm gonna punch her back. That's just unexcusable to me. Cause like I said, men and women were not created equal. And I don't think people understand that. Like God created man and God created woman, and man was created to be stronger than woman. So
come on now.
It doesn't make sense.
Well, preach, sister.
Well,
a woman.
I would challenge you on the flip side to say, if a woman understands that, why the hell would you put your hands on a man?
This is the thing, Scott.
Because they emotional, Scott.
I think you gotta be a little. I think you gotta be a tad bit more realistic and really think about it, because these situations happen, and you can't say, "Oh, why would she do that?" Because you get in these situations where she might put her hands on you, and I don't mean she's punching you, but like V said, out of anger, just like doing dumb shit. Like this stuff happens. So to say, "Oh, why would you even do that?" It's like, because this happens. Like this is real. Like it happens, and you gotta handle it as it occurs. So it's just like,
bro, but you're talking to somebody who's experienced that. Somebody who's been in a 2-year relationship where I experienced that, and I never put my hands on her. I never put my hands on her.
Scott,
that's you.
I never put my hands
on
her.
I'm not saying you should have put your hands on her. I'm saying like,
hold on.
You put in that situation, so you should know. Like you said, how did you get to that point? You've seen it, right?
But let me just break it down though. Even though there is a physical difference between men and women, there isn't a mental difference between men and women. There is not a mental difference.
I think it is.
But that's you though, but I don't. And scientifically, there isn't. So when there's no mental difference between us, you should understand. If I'm putting my hands on somebody who I understand is physically stronger than me.
Is there a mental difference between women and men? Do you think so from a woman's perspective?
Huh?
Hold on, I wanted Scotty to finish his point. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying if you putting your hands on somebody who you know is physically stronger than you, why would you do that? Why would you put yourself as a woman in that predicament? And also, on top of that, me as an individual, I would never tolerate a woman putting her hands on me. That's not tolerable. That's not permissible ever. I'm breaking up with you immediately. If you think, because you're putting me in a compromising position. If you put your hands on me, you're putting me in a compromising position. Because now I don't know what if I respond the wrong way?
Very true.
No, I mean, I think
give a damn about how
that's what I explained.
Yeah, that's extremely selfish.
No, that's true. You are spitting what they call facts, my friend. That is something that I do explain. If we get to that point and she was to put my hands on me, I'm like, yo, listen, that the position you put me in is like you said, is selfish. Because let's say if we live in row home, somebody hear ruckus, the cops coming here and they looking at me immediately. You get what I'm saying? So you're in that emotional state. So what you spitting, my brother. I just want to let you know that right now. But I do say, I said I won't put my hands on a woman. You cut my finger off, we got a big You owe me a rumble if you cut my finger off. I'm sorry, sis. It's happening today.
I can't play the game no more because you want to draw.
I can't do nothing right. Oh, you cut a smooth finger off? Oh man.
I do want to
listen. Either we mixing or I might be in court like, yeah, she did it, John.
I do want to ask Scotty a question. Scott, how are you using T-Money's account and talking at the same time? Because there's no way this fat, like word for word, she's defending you that fast.
That's why you think we're together, bro. We share the same
views. First of all, she using your words. I'm reading reading like it's very problematic to equate that.
We share the same views. That's how we got together.
That's Scott.
Listen. Shout out to the compatibility that's out there. Right I love the energy. You know what I'm saying? So we go move on from this. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about this all day, but if y'all want to hear more stuff like this, or see more stuff like this, go to our Facebook group. We talking heavy, so we got this. We got this. But next up, we got a Was I Wrong from Taji P. We ain't get a good Taji P. Was I Wrong in a long time. But before we get there, this podcast is brought to you by Talk HVY. That's Talk Heavy. You can find us there, like us there, watch us there, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And remember, if you want to check out another podcast, sip on some wine. Hold on, V. What's the slogan? I like what you got going on. Say your slogan again.
If you want to sip on some wine and have a good time, come check out Sip and Spill.
Oh boy, I love it. And ladies, my bad. My bad. Ladies, if you're feeling hit, holla at _ just prick. Now, Taji P, what did you cook up for us today? Let me get a good backdrop for this Was I Wrong? Go ahead. Don't worry about what I'm doing.
So it was a time in my Why?
I hate everything.
No, wait, hold on. You can't keep that up my entire. Yo, you gotta take that down. All right.
Raj, who is that? Is
Red
that's
body
real?
boy.
Yo, all right. Well, I don't even know why.
You got a side hustle? You cheating on Talk Heavy, Todd?
He just threw me up. That picture is from almost 10 years ago. But listen.
Wait, that's oh my god.
So let me just get to my was I wrong. So there was a time where I was working for a store called Dollar General. I was an assistant manager at Dollar General for 2 months straight. And I had a conversation when I went to work one day with my lead manager, and he was like, yeah, it's been a lot of stealing going on in the store, and, just keep your eye out for stealing. And he was like, yeah, when you're here, I want them to feel that male presence and everything so that they know not to steal while you in here. I was like, all right, man, I got you, you know what I'm saying? I'm here to do a job. I'm going to do my job, So I was standing at the register one day, just scanning stuff. And that one guy that always steal, he came in and he looked at me. He gave me a nod like this. So I gave him the nod back. And then he went to the register and picked up all the candy and threw it in his coat and pulled it over his jacket. And he walked out to the door and he gave me a nod again. And I gave him a nod and he left out. And then my manager, he found out that it was stealing going on, and then he found out that I knew about the dude stealing. So I got fired too when he found out, because I ain't tell him that bull stole and he found it on camera. So was I wrong for basically getting fired from my job for somebody else because I just let him steal?
I have some follow-up questions to that. So first, was there any benefits that you got out of letting this man steal? Like, did he provide you any products or services? Did he?
No.
Like oral service?
No.
He didn't give you anything.
No, he didn't give me anything.
You got no compensation.
Let me give you a little bit more background on the Was I Wrong story. I live directly down the street. So what I was not going to do as the assistant manager of Dollar General is being seen chasing after thieves when I have to go home up the street. So let me tell you something. I was giving back to my neighborhood by allowing him to walk out the store with that candy.
Did you just say this was the Dollar General?
Local, yes. Right down the street.
So these niggas was out here stealing candy that cost $1?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why he gave me a nod, and I gave him a nod.
Okay.
So you knew what the fuck was going on.
I knew.
He knew the vibes.
You knew the vibes.
I wasn't chasing him out. I wasn't stopping him. I wasn't doing nothing.
But your compensation was a head nod.
Mm-hmm.
No, my compensation was laying peacefully in my bed that night, and not chasing him down the street.
Fuck you thought what was gonna happen? Who told you to chase him down the street?
No, what I'm saying is I didn't think he was gonna do him particular was gonna do something to me, but what I'm not going to do is be seen after I live down the street chasing people up and down and around my own personal neighborhood that I live in. It's not happening. No.
So your pride cost you your job.
Well, it was one of my first jobs. It was a job that could have been got again. I didn't care, but yes, I did.
That's all you had to say. Wait. Why did you start off with all that and then say yes? Why you just say yes off rip?
Sometimes you got to give a little background before you give an answer.
But this why you're not wrong, Types. Because but only reason you wrong is because you let yourself be fired. In retail, you're not supposed to even deal with people who stealing. You're supposed to have like a security guard and stuff for that. Even if you are the assistant general manager, your only job is to let your boss know that someone stole. So he was unfairly treating you. So you are not wrong.
You was wrong because you was being a nut.
Yeah.
See, this is the problem. You ain't want to throw hands with a man who was stealing dollar candy.
This is the thing. I wasn't throwing hands for no people that was only paying me about $10.50 an hour. No,
that $10.50 ain't worth it.
No,
Todd said, I'm in Philadelphia.
Huh?
Cats is getting cut. They getting shot. I'm not chasing this man.
People was dying that ain't never died before. I'm good.
That ain't never died before.
Nobody asked you to. Did they ask you to chase him?
No, listen. All right. So the reason I said that, a little bit more background. My lead manager had a habit of chasing people out of the store, getting in his car to go follow people after they stole. So that's what he thought that like I was going to take lead of when he wasn't there. No, that's not happening.
Bro, so the lead manager took that shit personal.
Was he white or black, Ty?
He was a black dude. What you say?
He was chasing people, following people in his car?
I saw him do it. What did you say?
Old black man vibes written all over that.
Yo, he was like 31, 32 at the time. He was a young dude. Fairly young.
You talking about Scoop?
No, but listen, like
he's really 32. He's seeing this young brother right here.
Listen, because he was explaining to me like the money cycle of the store, and if you get less steals or less loss preventions, you get like a $3,000 bonus. $3,000 even at that time wasn't a whole lot of money to me. I just didn't consider it something to go risk my life for. So like I'm like, all right, that's what you do. But when I'm here, I'm just gonna tell you now, I'm not chasing nobody out the store. It's not happening.
You know what? But you didn't say that to him. You just showed him that.
Yeah, actions speak louder than the words, King.
Yeah, you got fired.
And you got fired.
What was that conversation like, Taj? I just want to hear. What was the contents of that conversation?
Well, I quit before I got fired. I knew what was going on. I've never been fired. Because technically, I've never been fired. Technically, I've never been fired in my life.
Taj, that takes away from your whole was I wrong.
He just didn't show up the next day. He's like,
no. I did get fired. But I was like, well, I quit anyway. I quit after I was being told I was being fired.
What?
Oh, all right. So you ain't want to come into work and them to fire you. Like I came all the way down the street for y'all to fire me. Back in.
I walked all the way down here for y'all to fire me. I need compensation for this.
So wait. So they told you, yeah, we're gonna fire you, and then you said I quit anyway.
No, he was like, we're gonna have to let you go. He was like, we gotta put it in writing and all that. And I was like, we ain't got to do all that. I'm gonna just go home.
So you didn't quit. You still got fired. Your pride is telling you that you quit, but in actuality, you got fired.
You know the vibes. You already know.
I mean, listen. I don't give a fuck about being fired from a Dollar General, nigga. Like, what the fuck?
No, I
that
get
is not.
Yes,
first of all,
Todd, you could have made lead.
Listen, that is not
a lead general at Dollar General.
That is not a job I want to be a lead at.
You could have been a general at Dollar General.
You could have been top of the general.
And I'd have still only been clearing $20K a year. Get the fuck out.
$20K a year.
You missed out on $16.75 an hour, bro.
Huh?
You missed out on $16.75 an hour.
He had promise. Look at his eyes. He had promise in them eyes. Look at you now.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I didn't age bad from 10 years ago. That's
You was 12?
Yeah.
You was 12 in that
picture? 13 in that picture.
Yo, you don't look 12. It's like a grown ass man.
Beginning of my teenage years.
Wow.
That's just that bow tie. That's the real was I wrong. Was he wrong for wearing the bow tie at 13 years old?
Yes. It's bow tie.
That's the same one you want.
And I can tell that's
your Wi-Fi messed up.
Your Wi-Fi messed up a damn man.
Yeah.
Jacket come down to your ankles. You're too young to have a jacket.
It's not funny.
None of them
Your Wi-Fi messed up, it didn't land.
Well,
let it go.
Talk about talking in court.
Life of an Eagles fan.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we got Talk Heavy Court. Now, this was a heated conversation, so heated that Taj fell asleep, V left, I left. Oh, man, these guys were arguing for about an hour. But today, y'all only get 3 minutes apiece. Who is, I'm gonna name it every way. Who is a better point guard, Steph or CP3? If you were a GM of a team, who would you hire as a point guard, Steph or CP3? And to add, Keith said that Steph Curry, and I quote, is the soldier boy of basketball. Now, when he said that, Scott almost blew a gasket. He wasn't feeling it. He said soldier boy, like he said soldier boy, how soldier boy said Drake. Soldier boy, yeah, it went down. So he obviously is taking that CP3 is a better point guard than Steph.
He's not.
And Scott says, what? Steph he's more than a point guard. You kidding me? Steph is a way better point guard and player than CP3. Not even comparison. So we're gonna flip this coin.
I want to go first.
Oh,
no need of the flip.
Oh, okay.
I just want to go
Well,
first.
if you ain't talking heavy, what you talking for?
Well, listen. V, you ready? You got your time ready, V?
I'm just switching my background real quick, but
That's all. I'm gonna give you some time.
I'm ready. All right, let's get it popping.
Let's get it popping.
Let's get it
Yes.
popping. All right.
Definitely, yeah. So I'm muting my mic.
Hold on. All right, 2 minutes. Ready and go.
Now, guys, I decided to come out of retirement and talk about someone who means a lot to me. Chris Paul, CP3, my favorite player. Everyone knows that here. And I want to tell y'all what I see in Chris Paul before I get to his stats and his facts. When I look at Chris Paul, I see a man who was cheated out of a chance to win a championship by playing with the GOAT because they thought the team would be too good, so they blocked the trade to send him to a below 500 team, which he ended up taking to the playoffs and making it to the second round and giving them a turnaround of 11 wins. When I look at Chris Paul, I see a man who was told his career was over with from Houston. And they sent him to a team that was clearly meant to be rebuilding. His two second best players were 21 and 22. And took them 7 games with the Houston Rockets against 2 MVPs. Now, when I look at Steph, I see a man, an amazing man. He's a great point guard. Won 79 games. Was up 3-1 and lost. And being up 3-1 and losing made Mr. MVP Steph Curry go find Big Brother. Then I never knew a superstar who won 79 games and had to go get his big brother, KD, to help him win. And the year before that, when he actually won, did Steph win MVP? Finals MVP? No. Iguodala did. Them years when Big Brother came, who won MVP? KD. How I'm going to say a man who was not pushing his team to be the best is the best point guard in the league. And let's ask, how many all-defensive teams have Steph ever made? 0. Chris Paul has made 9. If you can't play on both sides of the ball, you cannot be the best player. Thank you. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You came out swinging.
I wasn't prepared.
He came like big homie.
This a whole new
came out of retirement.
This a whole new Keith today.
Oh no, y'all! He came out real retirement. All right, go ahead, Scott.
All right, Scotty, and don't think I didn't see that you started talking during his jaw.
I thought my mic was muted. That's why.
He gets an extra 15 seconds on his minute rebuttal.
What? That's making up rules and shit.
Ready?
Yeah. So we talking about a man they call the babyface assassin. I just want to let y'all know why they call him the babyface assassin. He's 6'3", 185 pounds soaking wet. He's a 2-time MVP, 6-time All-NBA, 6-time All-Star, 3-time NBA champion, who ushered in a new era of basketball where you got everybody shooting threes, because this man is the greatest shooter to ever grace a basketball court. Not only does he rank second in all-time three-point percentage, but he also at 44%, but he broke his own three-point record 3 times in a row. and he holds the most 3-pointers ever made in a season at 400. And now we're talking about their primes, right? We talking about their primes. So Steph Curry in the last 5 years, he's averaged 27, 6, and 5, 43% from the three. Something light, something real light. But not only did he do that, this man can cross half court. And he's a dangerous. As soon as he crosses the half court, you got to pick him up as soon as that ball touches across that line, because he can pull up from 30, from 35 even. I seen it. And let's not talk about when he matches up against Chris Paul. Yo, we don't want to talk about that. Oh, we saw that when he made him fall and he hit that shot in his mitt. You remember that, Keith? I know you do. And I know you're going to say, oh, there we go. Thank you, Scoop. We all know what happens with Steph getting that bag. Don't stop playing, yo. Stop playing. We know what happened, yo. Come on, man.
Wow, that was weak.
All right, Scotty came back strong. Okay. Let me go ahead and give Keith his 1 minute and 15.
Sorry, Keith, I had to put that picture up. Very good picture.
You ready?
Let's go.
All right.
Scotty, I knew you was going to bring this up because you a sucker. So you're talking about March 3rd, 2015? Steph had 27-4 and 1 rebound, and Chris Paul had 27-9 and 2 rebounds. So Chris Paul made his team better by giving out more assists, but you didn't want to get into that. And you start throwing out little stuff because you never really said nothing. Well, Chris Paul is a 10-time All-Star. All-NBA first team 4 times, second team 4 times. And you said everything Steph Curry does on the offensive end. We are talking about the best basketball player, and if I remember correctly, it's 2 sides of the floor. And I've seen Chris Paul stick KD when he had to. He had to lock down KD at times to get the job done. You remember DeAndre Jordan? I'm just get to this real quick. DeAndre Jordan, a slightly smarter JaVale McGee, was about to get a max contract from the Mavs because how good Chris Paul made that man look. Where you at now? They're like, oh, we might got a contract for you. Who has Steph made look better other than Steph?
All right.
I'm gonna just say y'all doing amazing today. I'm really enjoying this court.
Thank you. Let's get into it, yo. Please, let's get into it. Cause I got some words for you.
Ready?
You know what I mean?
And go.
Listen, I don't know if you realize this or not, but Chris Paul been in the league for 15 years. And he ain't never sniffed a finals. He ain't never been in the finals. He don't got a point average. He ain't never had a chance to win the finals MVP. Nada. Ever. Steph Curry was so good in 2016 when he beat KD's team after being down 3-1 that KD said, I'm going to come and join y'all because I see the greatness over there. I see how great you are, Steph. That's what he wanted. He saw how great he was. He beat him. Last year, you know how many points he averaged in the finals? 30. The year before that, 28. The year before that, 26. So you can't tell me that Steph Curry isn't a performer in the finals. What's the argument? Steph is the all-around better player than Chris Paul. His offensive efficiency is higher than Chris Paul's. That's just facts.
You gonna say he's the all-around better player in his offensive efficiency?
The time ain't started. The time ain't started, can it?
Are we good? Or are we gonna do another
I
thing?
was about to say, you want to talk now? Y'all got the petition for that 30.
I think we're gonna go on forever. I don't think we should.
Do y'all want another 30?
It don't matter to me.
I want
another
30.
You
I
want
want another 30.
All right.
I kind of want another 32. I love sports. I'll be honest with you guys.
Another 30. Keith is on you. Ready? And go.
Well, you lied because they went to go recruit KD. I need you to do your research first. Don't just spread false narratives. Secondly, if he performed the best, he would want MVP. It's easier to score points when you can spread the floor when you got 2 of the best shooters on the court. And you can just go ahead and dribble the ball and pull from anywhere. They sticking KD. They worry about KD. Yeah, stuff gonna get off. But he still didn't win MVP. And you said Chris Paul didn't sniff it. He didn't get there. He never played with KD. And the only time he had a chance to go to a team with KD It say you can't go there.
All right. Ready, Scott?
Mm-hmm. The last time I remember, Chris Paul played with a man by the name of James Harden, and he couldn't get it done. James Harden averaged 36 a game. You know, something light. Averaged 36 a game, one of the best offensive scorers in the league, and he couldn't get it done. Steph Curry got 3 rings, yo. 3. Come on, man. It's not really a conversation of, and he has 2 MVPs. Chris Paul got none. Like this conversation is just, I don't.
All right.
There's not enough time, man. Goddamn, it's not 30 seconds. Ain't enough time for me to get my shit off.
So this how we gonna mob it. Taj, since you know nothing about sports, you go first. I'm gonna go second because I know V is itching to go last. I know she's itching. I can feel you from all the way where you at. I know you itching to go last. So, Taj, me, then V.
Well, since I'm not a sports fan, I'm just going to give a very Taj answer to this court. And my vote goes with Keith because he fought with Chris Paul. And Chris Paul is from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And Winston-Salem, North Carolina is one of my favorite places because my man, Big Mike, was from Winston-Salem, North Carolina on my favorite movie, The Wood. So with that being said, I know where Chris Paul is from, and I like Chris Paul too, Keith. And you argued a hell of a job today, my friend. Salute.
Woo! Listen, Keith did great. Scott did great. I mean, they was pulling out stats left and right. MVPs left and right. Defensive players, oh man, left and right. For today's argument, I'm going to have to go with Scott C. Reed. He made a very compelling point. I like your point about KD coming over there because Steph is good. As soon as you cross half court, we know what time it is. I mean, listen, the list goes on. You ran the table, so I'm going to have to go with Scott today. As much as it pains me to go with a Reed over a Robinson.
So what's the comment say? What did the comment?
I want to say, Scotty Girl said I won, but we're going to leave it there.
So you won it in the comments, huh?
He won it in the comments.
All right, go ahead. You know.
I'm not gonna hold you. I was not prepared for this. This was a very, very, very good debate. I think both of you brought up very compelling points. I liked Keith bringing up how CP3 is both good on the offense and the defense, whereas Steph is more of the offensive player. But I also like how Scott brought up how Steph changed the game of how people play basketball as a whole. Whew, this is hard. This is hard. I think I'm going to have to give it to Scott. I think I'm going to have to give it to Scotty. Only because you cannot deny the impact that Steph Curry has had on the way the NBA has changed.
I salute you, V. Thank you.
I was robbed. That's why I lose talking to court. I be robbed all the time. This nigga, the question is who's the best basketball player? That's on both sides of the court. You know what? I want to pop. You know what? I ain't gonna say much more.
Got the people vote.
Scott, I'm gonna text your girl after this.
Hey, yo, she voted for you, bro.
Hold on. Now that Keith reminded me of the original question, who the best point guard was, correct?
No,
yes.
That's not the original question. That was not the original.
I'm asking Scoop. Scoop, what was the original question? You asked 2 questions. What were they?
So I asked 2 questions. Who is the better point guard? And if you were a GM and you needed a point guard, who would you choose?
Okay. I changed my vote to Keith.
Oh, we got a big
Donald Trump recap.
No,
I'm gonna explain why.
Nevada got Wilson.
I have to change my vote to Keith because when you're looking at the entirety of the player, Keith's entire argument in all 3 rounds was about CP3 on all sides of the court. And Scott focused mostly on Steph's accomplishments offensively, but not necessarily how he impacts the other players on his team and the defensive side. So it's like Steph was in a different situation because he had better players around him too. So I have to go with Keith because of the fact that he was able to argue of how CP3 was able to be a better point guard and make teams that weren't that great special.
I mean, you know what? I did miss an opportunity to talk about how trash them Hornet teams was, but that's okay. We ain't gonna talk about that.
He only missed the playoffs twice.
Talk about that.
He only missed the playoffs twice with the Hornets.
How corny those fucking Hornet teams was.
He only missed the playoffs twice.
He stole that thing.
What are you talking about?
Wait. How many conference finals? Oh, okay. I rest my case.
But it had to do with anything. You said that how horrible he was. He still went to the playoffs with a horrible team. You just made a better point for me. Stop talking, Scott. Stop. You're done.
Yo.
The Warriors went to 5 straight finals.
What did you talking about,
with an amazing team. What are you saying?
CP3 was with
you compared James Harden.
Everybody calm down.
My fault.
You compared James Harden to Kevin Durant. That's how I knew you was done. Scoop is just an asshole.
Okay.
James Harden.
This has been a clean sweep.
James Harden is a wizard.
You won, man.
Yeah, you cheated me. Yeah, I hope you thought you
only voted for
I wasn't
you.
gonna get you.
This has been a clean sweep.
And really, and truth be told, it's really a tie because Todd's vote don't really count.
Scott, your girl voted for
My
you.
vote absolutely counts.
It's over.
Truth be told, it's really a tie.
I won the popular vote.
No, there's no
game.
such thing as a tie.
Order in the court. V, you giving the interview?
So let's do the victory interview. So Keith,
Get him.
feel? This
Man,
was
feels
like
amazing.
what was that? The Oscars with Moonlight won.
V pulled a Steve Harvey.
And
The
you
crowd.
came out of
Hold on. My bad.
I just want to say,
Accept the speech.
I just want to say it felt amazing. I want to thank my mom, my sister, my son. When Scott came in here talking about that nonsense, I already knew Scoop was gonna go against me. He already know I won though. The popular vote said I won. I'm not worried about nothing. Scott, when you on FaceTime tonight, think about me.
What you got in your head?
I made things happen, Scott. And you ain't never gonna see this again. I'm going back into retirement.
Oh man.
I hope y'all have a good time. Yeah, but it was a little slippery, slopey. I do my best in court. And I don't really plead. I'm appreciated enough, but you know, this for the homies. Rest in peace, King Vine. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. Rest in peace, Bob Barker. And we gonna do this for the hood, y'all. We gonna do this for the hood.
Pour it out.
So
Pour it out.
So let's just say that you can't go back into retirement because you can't. Who would you like to see next?
I want that smoke with V.
No, you don't.
Oh. Oh, V? Just said flat out. No, you don't. Jesus, V.
I want that 8-0 smoke, and it's gonna be a stout defense.
First of all, she's not 8-0. Let's talk about that.
It's a Steelers pun. It's like
the Steelers pun.
The Steelers is 8-0.
You don't see this.
I mean 8-0. I'm sorry.
You don't see this.
That's a COVID 8-0.
Thank you, Scott.
But yeah, no, I am going back into my retirement. I'm going to go back to judging. I just love Chris Paul, and I can't have the disrespect.
Chris Paul is not better than Steph Curry, though. I just want to let you know that off rip.
Offensively or defensively?
Anything. It don't matter. Overall.
You're talking bullshit now. I can't continue talking to you. All right, so that was a whole nother episode of Talk Heavy.
That was a whole nother episode of Talk Heavy. Listen, man. Y'all want more of this heat? Y'all check us out every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. YouTube and Facebook. And before we leave, Keith, tell them what's going on Sunday.
November 15th. Helium. Comedy Club on 23rd. It's Samson, I think it believes.
Yes, sir.
Keith Robinson Sr. will be performing. 7 p.m. Be there. He will be pouring some new material. Talking
that's
about
the only Robinson I respect. I just want to put that out there.
Hey.
Keep the whole Talk Heavy crew down at Helium.
Yeah, we all gonna be there. We're gonna do some. We might do an interview with the big man himself. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know who's gonna show up. It might be some special surprise.
You never know.
Mm.
So, with that being said, that wraps up a whole nother episode of Talk Heavy. Once again, I'm your boy Scoop Burgundy.
It's your boy Touch.
Just call me Rob.
It's Scotty.
My team's undefeated.
Oh my goodness. And my team is number 1. Shout out to the Eagles. Until next time.